It's a very long process to transform the rock, the lava flow, into soil. And of course, the water, acid water, is the main, how you say, the main mean, because it percolates inside the fractures from outside to inside. So the rock start to, how you say, to make some kind of onion skin. That's precisely the name. You see, from outside to inside, and finally you get a core, or more or less a still fresh rock, and the outside is completely altered.
So this is a weathering process that comes from the outside.
And it's called onion skin because it's spherical, like when you peel an onion.
Yes, and then you have the more kind of resistant core in the middle and the outer skins that have interacted more with water. Yeah. They are falling off.
And finally you get this, which is in the way to become a kind of clay soil.
Yes, so here we have the different layers of the onion skin, and they start to flake off, and sometimes the freshest sample that you can get is actually in the core of such an onion, and this is the least weathered one. So here we see this kind of ovoid shape inside that has been flaking off the skins in different kind of layers.
And at the end you can see just a hint of the onion skin. This is called ghosts.
Okay. So, but there's a strange significance to this outcrop here, Juan Carlos. Tell us a little bit about that. So,
yeah, well, a very good scientist, a German one, was Peter Rothe. Mistake this with very similar in some ways pillow lavas. The pillow lavas are submarine, are made when lava flows inside water.
yes.
And he thought that these were pillow lava, so he raised the island almost 2,000 meters.
Yes, he
But
argued.
we all make mistakes.
He argued that this onion skin weathering here was actually pillow lavas, implying that these lavas here had formed submarine.
Exactly.
And then the logic requirement, if these were submarine lavas, would be that you have to lift these up by, we're at 750 meters altitude, you have to lift these rocks by, almost 2 kilometers.
1,000 meters, yes.
Because you have to have them submarine, so we're talking almost 2 kilometers of uplift. And this requires huge vertical shifts of rocks that actually, if this is onion skin weathering, which very, very firmly it is, then there is no need for this up and down movement. So the story is a lot simpler than Mr. Rothe thought. So he was working here in the 60s, right into the 70s.
Exactly.
And he was very good, actually. I mean, he has a lot of very good descriptions.
He has a very good scientific production, yes. That was an accidental mistake that we all have. So.
That we all kind of, sometimes get one thing wrong. And the implication of getting this wrong was a huge vertical movement that, in fact, has probably never happened to the best of our knowledge.
There was also a theory that the Canary Islands were blocks that were differential elevated. So the higher were the islands, and the graben, the sunk was the sea.
Yes, this was still in this transition period between plate tectonics and geosynclines that were lifting up and down. And then, of course, the question was, has there been uplift? Has there been a land bridge? These were all things that are still kind of formed a debate at that time. But I think many of those have been resolved. Of course, we have new problems, so geology is not finished.
Plate tectonic is like a Swiss knife that solved all the problems. That's
almost all of them, but he created a few new ones, of course.
That's science. That's how science progresses.
So, thank you very much, Juan Carlos, for this onion skin weathering outcrop and the story about Peter Rothe and the vertical movement. So, credit to him for kind of thinking that far. And science is self-correcting, so it's important that we put up hypotheses and that these are actually discarded once they're wrong, and then they give way to better ones in the process. So, thank you very much, and all the best.